وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين وعلى آله وصحابته ومن تبعهم بإحسان إلى يوم الدين. Inshallah, I'll just finish these principles that we were going over yesterday. After the 5 dominant principles, Izz ibn Abdus Salam, who's one of the great scholars of usul, said that he's reduced all of the principles of usul to 2 principles in Shari'ah: the accruement of benefits and avoidance of harms. So everything in Shari'ah is either to accrue benefits or to avoid harm for the human. And then some added to that in fact really only one is considered, which is benefit, because even avoidance of harm is a benefit. Now in terms of ease and facilitation, there are basically 7 reasons for it. One is traveling. So when a Muslim travels, because of the nature of traveling, there's a hardship in it. That there's ease made, facilitation made. For instance, in the prayer, we're able to shorten the prayer. And shortening the prayer, although it's a rukhsa, it's considered a sunnah. Unlike, for instance, breaking your fast. Breaking your fast is permissible, but it's not a sunnah when you travel. So you can do it, but shortening the prayer is actually a sunnah when you travel. So it's encouraged, even if you don't have any hardship, to shorten the prayer anyway. And then illness is another reason for ease, marad. If somebody becomes ill, then rules change for them, because they obviously can't fulfill the same functions that a person who is healthy can. And then the third is coercion, ikrah. A person who is being coerced into things can even to the point where they can deny their Islam, if that's going to benefit them. So if somebody was threatening to say that they would kill them if they were Muslim, then they could say at that point that they're not Muslim, as long as the Quran says their heart is content with Iman. And then another is forgetfulness, that one of the things that the Prophet ﷺ said, that the pen of responsibility has been raised from 3 in my ummah, from the child until they reach puberty, the sleeper until they wake, and the mad person until they become well. And then in another hadith he said that Allah does not take my ummah to account for their unintentional mistakes, their forgetfulness, or what they were forced or compelled to do by others without choice. And then also ignorance of a judgment, jahal bil hukm. So in certain situations that there's a reason, that's a valid reason. If somebody really doesn't know, and it's not something that there was necessarily, if it was a fard ayn, there's things that there's no excuse for not knowing. And there are other things that there's an excuse for knowing, not knowing. And then overwhelming difficulty is usr. And this is something in which it becomes so difficult that it's really hard to function, and that necessitates facilitation. So an example of that would be like a butcher. Even though blood is najis in normal circumstances, for a butcher, they can pray with in an area where there's blood, and they could pray even with blood on them, because it would be just too difficult for that person. It's his job, and if he's working in the daytime, that's one example. Another example is a woman taking care of small children. Even though she needs to be vigilant about the uncleanliness of urine and these things, because it's so difficult for her to do that she's excused. If she prays and there's najasa on her clothes, then that's overlooked. And that's an example of usr, facilitating ease. And another is when things spread to such a degree that the whole community is affected by it. For instance, now paper money, right? Usurious money. That's That's how the world is doing their transactions. So for you to completely disengage from that would create an undue hardship on you, a type of usr on you, so that at that point then there's ease facilitated for you.